ground it is not easy. And for example, there's already a battle. There could be a potential theoretical battle between ecocentrists and biocentrists, because the ecocentrists would say what has a value in itself is the fact that the Earth is a living system, and that we should care about. That's where it becomes very delicate, talking about stability or equilibrium. Some scientists would say this is just a pure
human folly.
Human folly, because nature doesn't think in terms of equilibrium or what was the balance and so on. It is always a moving system. If you take large scale time, you would see shifts and
what would the biocentrists are?
Yeah, so the biocentrists would say every life form has a value in itself. So when the ecocentrist says, well, in order to keep a sort of, in brackets, equilibrium or balance in this system, well, these life forms should be or could be eliminated because they threat the system. For them, it's like an individualistic political system and a collective political system. Is the collectivity more important than the individual, or is the individual more important than the collectivity? It's the same thing here.
That's the debate which is going on within the paradigm, which is here called nature has intrinsic value. Yeah.
Either you are biocentric or you are ecocentric. Eco in the sense of ecosystem. And in the middle, there are those weak anthropocentrists who could say we don't have to be radical here. Nature is not only instrumental. We could also feel a connection, a spiritual connection, a beauty connection, a origin connection. We could feel many different ways of relating to nature, but still we humans are the only one who are going to make decisions, who are going to make those decisions, who are going to put a process into place. So they're sort of saying, this philosophical system has huge problems, because if we are biocentric, then we have to defend every form of life, and nature doesn't function this way. If we are ecocentric, how do we manage this in a non-radical way of saying, okay, 90% of humans should disappear in order to make it sustainable? So this is, philosophically, you could think this way, but practically, and if you want to put institution in place, it is very complicated. So that's why they say, okay, let's understand that this has brought us to the crisis that we're in today, and this is maybe going too far away, and there could be thousands of different spiritual ecologies, for example. How are we going to find a system where it's all possible? So let's go back to something in the middle. Let's be practical. Let's defend nature for humans, and let's defend nature also, partially at least, for itself. Because yes, these are for the arrows.
Yeah, I'm interested in those arrows.
Yeah.
So this is the middle ground, as you say, which is coming.
This is the horizontal line.
Yeah.
And this is the vertical line, which goes from. It started with the concept of environmentalism of the poor. I don't know if you know this one.
Yeah, sure.
the global South perspective on environmentalism or ecology. And so once you have this concept, you say, okay, I could build a vertical line. So what am I going to put here? So environmental of the rich. Of course, you have to define what means rich, or the global north. So these arrows try to explain how actually a medium strong anthropocentrism has an impact on the global south.
You've then got these kind of 4 quadrants,
yes,
and you're distributing terms
exactly
around them. But then there's also, it seems to be sort of like 3 levels here, which you've called.
Yes.
Yep.
Let me just finish this here. So, for example, in the arrows, you would have environmental dumping. I don't need to explain this one.
These are movements from the environmentalism of the rich to the environmental of the poor. So that might be, for example, sending our electric trash to Asia or China to be recycled there, or
there could be this concept of negative.
This is what you're calling dumping here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Environmental dumping. I don't know if you know the term externalities.
Yeah, I've seen this kind of.
It is in the economy. It is the fact that if I buy a car, I'm not paying for your health pollution. I'm buying the car, and in the cost of the car, there is an external cost. You are going to suffer. Your health is going to suffer CO2.
It's a well-timed cough.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that I'm going to the production, the extraction, production, use, waste of this car, there's going to be a social cost for society, and that's what economists call an externality. It is external to what? It is external to the cost of when I'm buying the car. It is not included. Your health bill.
You could include it. That would just be another model.
Yes, exactly. It would be exactly. So you know the concept. So the idea, of course, for many economists would be to internalize external negativities or negative externalities.
So the cost of the phone would include the cost of sustainably and in a non-exploitative way recycling the phone after it's goes out of service.
And a lot of externalities of this system up here goes to the global south. There's environmental dumping, there's land grabbing, there is extractivism, you talked also about earlier, there's biopiracy, stealing knowledge of, for example, indigenous people, stevia, for example. And we're sort of producing in the south a ecocide.
And these are flows which are going both ways. So the dumping is taking something from the
we take the rich part and we dump the poor part.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is how suddenly I was able not anymore to think in terms of ecological mindsets, purely in terms of who determines what has a value, but also in terms of relation between the North and the South, or the global North and the global South. I don't want to say every time global.
That's fine. Yeah,
so
understood.
So you understand it. Here, in those 3, I try.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you've talked about the biocentric, ecocentric model, which is this one end, which is very sort of theoretical to a certain extent. You talked about the domination model, which is that of complete control and exploitation of all natural resources. And in the middle, you called this area of weak anthropocentrism a kind of caretaking model.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is something which we kind of recognize also a company with ideas behind sustainability, which is the sense that it's all about the give and take. So the caretaking here is taking care of that there is the same amount given back than there is taken, or that there are balances in the situation. But it's still an anthropocentric